What's new re-COVID-19? Well, by now, most of you will have received a letter from the government which is basically along the lines of, hey, I know things are really bad right now, but if it's any consolation, they're about to get much, much worse. I want to focus on one section of the letter, though. The section that says, I know many of you will be deeply worried about the financial impact on you and your family. And it's true, coronavirus is having a profound effect across all social groups, including, and this is a minority we don't check in with enough on this show, rich people, or as they prefer to be known, people of money. And it is having a truly terrible impact on the rich community. It forced some of them to make that Imagine video. Hey, remember when a bunch of Hollywood celebrities got together and they all sang a bit of Imagine and we all sat there watching it going, well, this will be for charity. And then it wasn't. That is a twist. I guess they thought that their mere presence would make us feel better. But you know what makes people feel better? Money! Rishi Sunak wouldn't have got the praise he'd got if instead of standing up at a podium and announcing a comprehensive spending plan to alleviate people's financial hardship during the coronavirus, he just stood there and sang Wonderwall. But ultimately, at least they meant well, maybe? And that can't be said of all rich people. Last week, Somerset Capital Management, best known for being founded by Jacob Rees-Mogg, contacted all its investors saying supernormal returns can be made during this type of environment, adding it was an excellent entry point for investors. It's a pandemic. The only thing it's an excellent entry point for is trying and failing to make sourdough and or watching catchphrase marathons on Challenge. Look, they'd say they're just trying to make money for their investors in a difficult time, but this seems grim. Who looks at a global pandemic and thinks, boy, I hope they added a cha-ching sound effect in there, otherwise I'm going to look like quite the buffoon. Anyway, this is ghoulish behaviour, which I guess shouldn't be a surprise, given one of the co-founders of the firm is Jacob Rees-Mogg, for whom ghoulish behaviour, I mean, that's basically the name of his signature fragrance line. Ghoulish behaviour smells like mean spirit. But even opportunistic investors can't hold a candle to the third category of rich a-hole. Billionaires using government money to stop themselves from becoming slightly less rich. Enter Philip Green and Richard Branson, the Chuckle Brothers, but only if the catchphrase was just, to me, to me. On March 16th, Virgin Atlantic asked all staff members to take 8 weeks unpaid leave in order to safeguard the future of the airline. Conservative MP Richard Fuller calculated that Branson could pay every staff member sick pay for those 8 weeks just by using the interest on his vast fortune. And yet he's still asking his staff to go without. That's the kind of boldness that can only come from a man whose other ideas include crashing hot air balloons and what if Coke was worse? The Times reported that Virgin wants about £500 million of support, but has met resistance from the Treasury, which questions the precedent of bailing out an airline owned by a tax haven dwelling billionaire. Which is such a diplomatic way of saying, no cash for you, you freeloading mullet fuck. And what I would say to Richard Branson is, companies need to stand on their own 2 feet, and the weak ones need to go to the wall. Not my words, the words of one Richard Branson speaking in 2009. Though to be fair to him, in 2009 I said, Obama's in the White House, I guess racism is over. Touché, America. Then there's Top Shot boss Philip Green. A bloke you take one look at and think, well, if that man has a Wikipedia page, it's definitely got a controversy section. And boy oh boy, are you right. What a section it is. Not a citation needed in sight. So it came as absolutely no surprise when on April the 2nd, Green demanded taxpayer help, a reduction in rents and stopped paying into his employees' pension scheme. Green and his wife have an estimated personal fortune of £1.8 billion. And they own 3 yachts, which I think we can all agree is somewhere between 1 and 3 too many yachts. You know you've got too many yachts when Marie Kondo could feasibly have to come round to help you organise them and find herself saying things like, well, Philip, if they all spark joy, then you're going to have to fold them tighter. And what's worse is that Green is asking for bailout money from the UK government, despite the fact that his wife owns the business and she is from Monaco, meaning they pay no tax on UK profits. To put this in perspective, if you're self-employed and you want governmental assistance through this crisis, you have to have completed your tax return. And if Philip Green has completed his tax return, it presumably looks something like this. Billionaires. I get it. It's hard. We all got letters from the government, but you don't know which one of your homes it went to. So, we've made this handy little information film to get you through these confusing times. Dear billionaires, I know many of you will be deeply worried about the financial impact on you and your family. And you know what? You should be. There's a chance you could come out of this slightly less rich than you went in. So here's our guide for billionaires on how to cope as a humble multi-millionaire. Get rid of one of your yachts. That's what they say about yachts. 2's company, 3's an armada. Ditch your private island and just dig a moat around your kitchen island. It's cheaper and there's less chance Prince Andrew will come and stay. Rather than flying in a private jet, why not do at least some of your business meetings via house party? You never know who might show up. You know all that money you saved by not paying tax? Why not dip into that? This is the rainy day you've been waiting for, and it's pissing it down. Follow these steps and you'll be fine. Because at a time where we're having to tighten our belts, you might have to give up one of your 5,000 belts.